Hello, and welcome back to day 5 for my 13 Frights Before Halloween as we continued working on this very large folio album. So here it is. I'm going to open it up, and here on the inside, and then I want to share that when I made these 4 insert photo mats, I thought I hadn't cut the cardstock paper, but I had. So now I found them, and I have 4 more, which I'm fine with that. So if you want 2 on each side, that's fine. Or if you want to put 4 on each side, there's plenty of room. So I'm just going to slip, for now I'm going to leave them black and not add any patterned paper to them. But when I see that I have lots of paper or extra papers, I may mat all of them on the front, or at least 1 more on each side. We'll see. But by putting these 4 in, it makes it a little bit tighter with that ribbon, and they do stay in really, really well when you're opening and closing your book like that. So like that. So here's what we've gotten done so far on the inside, and we're ready to work on our last 8.5 section right here on the back, and we're going to be putting triple pockets over here. So we've got that already cut out of cardstock. I'll give you the measurements, and again, the cutting list is linked down below in my description. You just click on it. It'll take you to Google Docs, to my Google Documents where I'm sharing it, and then you can just download the PDF and print it up. Okay? So I'm going to get my scoreboard. For our pockets, we need to cut from cardstock 3 pieces. We need one that's 9 1/4 by 4 1/2 wide, one that's 9 1/4 by 3 1/2 wide, and one that's 9 1/4 by 2 1/2 wide, and we do score these. So let's take the biggest one first, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch on both ends and at the bottom. So a 1/2 inch on both ends would be at a 1/2 inch here on your 9 1/2 inch side, your 9 1/4 inch side, sorry. Turn it, score 1/2 inch on the other 9 1/4 inch side, turn, and on your 4 1/2 inch side, score at a 1/2 inch. So we have 2 ends and 1 long side scored. So take your 3 1/2 inch one. We're going to do the same thing. We're scoring at a 1/2 inch on the 9 1/4 inch side. Turn, score at a 1/2 inch again on the 9 1/4. So that's both ends. Turn and score at a 1/2 inch on your 3 1/2 inch side, and that scores the bottom. Same thing on your smaller one, your 2 1/2 inch tall, 1/2 inch on your 9 1/4 inch side. Turn, grab that other end, 1/2 inch on your 9 1/4 inch side, and then turn and get the 2 1/2 inch at a 1/2 inch. And that's all the scoring that we need to do for the pockets. Okay, grab your scissors, and on each one, miter cut at an angle across the 2 intersecting lines on the bottom. And then you're also going to burnish, fold and burnish each one, and make sure that they do not overlap here on the back. So you want to make sure that you've got a nice corner here, not without a lot of thickness. So this one I see I need just a little more trimmed, and then that one works just fine. And this one needs a tiny, tiny bit right here. Okay, works great on that one. Do the others the exact same way. my pattern papers cut, and you're going to need one that's 8 1/8 wide by 1 7/8 for the shorter pocket, one that is 8 1/8 wide by 2 7/8 for the middle pocket, and then one that is 8 1/8 wide and 3 7/8 tall for the bottom pocket. And then for the upper part of the page, you need one that's an 8 1/8 wide by 2.5 inches tall. These are all cut from scraps. I've inked all the edges with the Distress ink and the pumice stone, and we're ready to put them onto the pockets. I've checked, there's no elements that we need to put down before we actually do the pockets, and I am not punching the edges. You can if you want, that's an option for you. I'm going to grab the glue and get that going. Okay, so we put glue on the back. I'm using this green piece with the pumpkins. So just go ahead and glue your pattern papers on. And I have all my side pieces, my attachment flaps folded under so that I can see where the paper goes. Make sure it's got the right amount of border around each edge. Go ahead and burnish that. The second one. So I have this folded under, that's not necessarily how it's going to go onto the page, but I did fold it under so I could see to get my pattern papers on. This way, here we go. Not that the orange has really directional, but just in case, I turned it so that's the right side up. And then the top pocket. And again, these were all cut from scraps to conserve the paper for the full pages that we're going to be doing. We have a lot of pages yet to go into the book. Oops, that one's too far over. Scoot it over a little bit. The smaller one's giving me more problems than the bigger ones did. Let me scoot this in. I'm not happy yet with it. I'm going to move it a little bit right here. Need a little bit of black showing. Maybe I cut it wrong. There we go. That's better. It was just me. Wipe off any excess glue and burnish that down good. Of course, this top piece here goes on the top of the page, so we don't need to mat that to anything just yet. Okay, we've got these ready. Let's grab the book. This is going to be a pretty fast day. So turn to your last 8.5 section here, which is the inside of this flap here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put the widest one down first and make sure it does not go over the fold here of this flap. So I try to put it closer to the outer edge to make sure that I don't do that. And then line it up here at the bottom. So we do the bottom flap only first because we're going to put the tape on it. So I'm making sure I'm at least 1/8 of an inch from my fold. Double check it. Move it over a little bit more. There we go. So it's more to the outer edge. Because when that folds up, we don't want that pocket hanging. And down on the bottom. So this is the bottom one. Let's open it up and burnish. Okay, and grab our tape, Scotch tape. And add some tape to keep things from snagging in there. Okay, now we go ahead and put glue on the two side flaps. Line them up, make sure they're lining up straight, and burnish those down on the side. Clean up any glue there. I got some right there. Okay. Okay, so now that one's on. For the next pocket, open up this bottom piece here. This is not going to be folded under. This is simply going to be a guide as to where to stop and keep it straight for this pocket. On mine, I seal up the bottom, but if you want to leave it open so you can put taller things in, you can. So like if you left it open, you could put taller tags in. So I'm just trying to, the first one I did seal the bottom, but I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to leave it open on this one. So a larger photo mat or tag can go in as an option. So I'm going to put glue, put glue on the two side attachment tabs right here and right here that are folded back, and no glue on this one. So we're going to lift up this pocket that's attached. We're just going to slip this one in, and we're going to drop them down and stop where the fold line meets this pocket that's already down. That way it keeps us straight. Burnish your sides. Okay, so that left that open all the way through to the bottom. Okay, the second one, the next one, I think I'm going to do the same thing. You open this bottom tab out, so you want it flat like this so that it fits in the same way. And I'm going to seal up this one. So my glue is going to go with the folded tabs facing up. My glue is going to go on the back side of this one that's not folded. This is what attaches down into the book. And then on the back of the tabs, on the sides here. You want to leave yours open, then it would go open all the way down. So lift this up and slide this in and place it, put it in place, and drop it down. Burnish these sides. Make sure they stay in place. Burnish your sides and across the bottom on the inside here. The sides right there. These triple pockets are really easy to do. And then we take our last piece of paper that we cut, and I cut it so that it will fit down into the pocket. This, and then you line it up here at the top. So glue, I did ink all of these. I think I already told you that. So glue on the back side. Lift that up and slide it in, and then line it up here at the top, nice and straight, and burnish. And there's your section with your triple pockets. Of course, we're going to be adding stuff in to the pockets when we start finishing this up, and some decorating. So there is that section for today. That was pretty quick and easy, so we will definitely have a little bonus project. And my comment question for today, I haven't done it for every day, but I'm doing a comment question because I'm going to have a drawing on Halloween Day for a fun prize from Creative Chaos by Sin on Etsy shop. Today's question, and I'm using the comments that answer my questions. So I probably will haven't shared that earlier, but that's what I plan to do. Today's question is haunted houses. Do you or don't you like haunted houses? And share what your scariest moment in a haunted house is if you've gone in. If you haven't gone in one, just say, I can't stand haunted houses. I don't even go in them. But if you love haunted houses, share your favorite part of whichever one you've gone in at one time or the other. Share your comment, answer to this with your comment about the project, how you like it so far, and the bonus project. So leave me a comment, and I'll be doing the drawing on October 31st. So anyway, that's the project here for today. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out some things for a little bonus project. For today's bonus project, I'm going to make a card, a pretty quick, simple card. It's called a collar card. You've probably seen these before. It's not my original idea, of course. It's been around a while. Different people make them. It's where it's folded back and it looks like a collar on the front of your card. And I'm going to use black artisan cardstock. I grabbed a scrap. I'll give you the measurements of that for the card base. And I pulled out an older collection of Authentiques Twilight for this because I just love these paper images. And I have a sticker sheet here that I'm going to use. So I've already pre-cut my papers. So I'm going to give those to you. For your card base, here you need to cut one. My scrap was 5 1/4, so I'm going to make my card 5 1/4. So you need a piece that is 5 1/4 tall. I think I did 11. Let's see here. Yeah, I cut it at 11. So you fold it in half. I don't even use a scoreboard for that. I just fold it in half, get a good burnish here with my bone folder, and I have my card base, okay? Now then for the front of it, I cut 2 pieces that are 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. They're all, the squares are 5 3/8. So there's 2 pieces for the front. There's 1 piece for the back, which I think will be this black one, 5 3/8 by 5 3/8, and 2 pieces for the inside, 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. I like really thick cards, okay? And then for the sentiment and for where you write your message, I cut a piece of craft cardstock, 1 piece 4 by 4. May or may not use this cut apart that I matted, this 3 by 4 from the collection. I matted it to some black artisan cardstock. So let's get to the assembly. Ink the edges if you want. Now I want this to be what shows when the collar is folded back. And I do use glue when I'm making my cards. So on the back of this 5 3/8 by 5 3/8, because what did I say? This card is a 5 1/2. I said 5 1/4. I don't know why I said it. 5 1/2. So your card base is 5 1/2 by 11 folded in half. That's what kind of threw me. Folded in half makes it a 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And so your pattern pieces are cut. I cut mine where I have a very narrow border, 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. So pay attention if you have a directional paper. Got little spiders hanging down. I want them to be going the right way here on my card. And of course I burnish it down. Now we need to do the collar, and I think I'm going to use it this way. This needs inked a little more right here on this edge. Okay, so this you need your trimmer, and you need one of these where you can stop it. So the halfway point of a 5 1/2 card, 2 1/2 is 5, so 2 3/4 is a half. So line up one side. I want the stripe going up and, let's see, I want the stripe going up and down, so I need to turn it to the side. 2 3/4. Line it up. And we're just going to cut down. Let's cut it down to 2 1/2 and stop. Okay, super simple on that. Okay. Now we're going to make our collar, which will, from this little point, and I put my bone folder here, you're going to fold a point and you make the collar, you line up the points here. So you bring this side over. And bring it over here. Artisan's a little thicker, so it's not going to quite come all the way without tearing, so I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to leave it like that, like a little collar. Okay. And then you do the other side. And make sure you're bringing it over. Okay, to the side here. It's a little stiff. There we go. And it does tear right there, but I'm going to be covering that right in there in that center. So that's the collar. So take your card and you're going to mat this down on top. So see, we see this part peeking out. Okay. So I'm going to put glue on the back side. So I'm right there at that point where it folded. And like I said, thicker designer paper can tend to have that little problem there in the middle. So I'm going to open it to the side with my card, and I'm just going to line this up. If you're running short of paper, you could only pattern the half on the front before you add this piece on, if you wanted to. Making sure I'm lined up good. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. So burnish it down. And then if you don't want these flapping up, you would put glue on your little flaps. And then we fold this down and burnish that. So we've got the flaps tacked down. Now, of course, you see that little tear spot, but I'm going to be putting that right there. So that's going to work okay. And so I'll put glue on the back of this. It's a 3x4 cut apart with a black cardstock matted around it for the border. So I'm going to line this up right here and right there. Okay, so we burnish that on. So we've got this collar fold here. Let me clean up my glue. Always get glue everywhere. That's why I like artisan cardstock, because it does dry clear. And remember, you can order it from Country Craft Creations, and you need to do it before it gets winter cold freezing temperatures, because it won't ship then. And I need to make myself a note. I need to order my supply as well. So I'll be doing that within this week or next week. Okay, now we're going to open it up, and on the inside I'm going to go ahead and put, I think, the spiders here. It's going to go right here. Make sure you're not going over your fold. It should fit exactly on the inside. And then I like to finish it up with this on this side. Okay, burnish the inside. Then this is going to go right here for your sentiment and your message. Now, if you're going to stamp it, I would do that first. I'm using stickers from the collection, but if you're going to stamp it before you glue it into your card base. Center it side to side. There we go. And then the back, I really love the spiders. So I'm thinking I'm just going to use the spiders and continue that theme of spiders instead of the black here. I originally thought I'd use the black, but it's nowhere else in the card, so I'm going to keep the theme kind of going here. Okay, so we make sure they're not upside down. And burnish that on. That's the back of the card. Nice, very sturdy card. Big enough. You could put a photo here if you wanted to. That'd be cool. So now I'm going to take my stickers and we're going to dress it up. And we're going to keep it kind of flat so we can mail it if we need to. You would have to make an envelope most likely for that. And you can do that with your envelope punch board, which I may show you that in just a second here. So I thought I would put ghostly greetings on the inside, or I could do that on the outside and just leave this blank for message. Ghostly greetings. Yeah, I like that. I am going to put a little bit of glue on the sticker because sometimes they can peel up. Of course, with cards, you don't know if the recipient will keep it, but you hope they will. So put into it as much as you want or as little, depending on who you're sending it to. I used to have a joke. Was someone card-worthy? You know, handmade card-worthy. Though bought cards are quite expensive as well. So then we're going to open it up, and I think I'm going to put a row of little jack-o'-lanterns. So I'll just put a little bit of glue in each one. And I think we can put one on the corner like this, and another one on the corner, and then we put the other two in between. Still keeping the card nice and flat. Wipe that glue off. Now the two in between ones. Space them out a little bit. Take glue off right there. Okay. Cute. I haven't received them yet, but I think you're going to love the prizes that are being donated by Creative Chaos by Sin. I'm pretty sure that's her full name on Etsy shop. She contacted me and offered these prizes, which I think is just really sweet of her. And if you like handcrafted, she makes organizer items and some pick pins for your crafting. So check out her shop on Etsy. So there's that. On the back, I like to put something. So since it's spiders, I'm going to put this circle here just in the center. Got to put my glue on it. Okay, just kind of to dress it up just a little bit. Okay, there we got that. And do I want anything else here in the front? Probably not. I think that's plenty, especially if you're going to mail it. You do not want it to be thick. The size of it's already going to cost extra postage, so you don't want it thicker than 1/4 of an inch because the post office will charge you even more. So let's make an envelope for it, and let me grab that. To make an envelope for 5.5 by 5.5 card, you take your envelope punch board. I'm using the full-size one. This is what mine looks like. They may look a little different now. And you're going to find your card size, which you look for 5.5. So is the card size, and it tells you you need a paper size of 9 by 9, which I've already cut. And you're going to do a score line of 4.5. Yeah, let me double check. 5.5, 4.5. So you put your left edge at 4.5. Take your little scoring tool that comes with yours, with your envelope punch board. Put this at 4.5, and then you're going to put this in, and you're going to score at an angle, and then punch. Turn it, put it back at 4.5, score, and punch. Just down a little bit so you can see. Put it in at 4.5, score, punch, and one more, 4.5, score, and punch. Okay, then before we fold it up, we'll throw these away. Then we're going to punch the point corners, and you use the corner rounder that's here on the back side of your envelope punch board, and you put the corner, the point in, so that each straight edge is flush up against the punch. Punch all 4 of your points. So making your own envelopes is actually quite fun, and you can customize it to go with your card. Like this one will match the inside here and the collar part. So now you turn it over. I want this on the inside, and I'm going to fold, and I'm going to use my Teflon bone folder. You're going to burnish each fold line. Okay, simple. Now then, I'm going to pull two sides in, just like that. And you can put a little bit of glue on the one that's overlapping to secure it in place. Make sure it doesn't ooze out into your envelope area, and burnish that. And then this one comes up, and I'm going to put glue, a line of glue on each edge here of this flap. Okay, bringing that up, that's going to seal it here on the sides. Burnish. Make sure that nothing's sealed up in there. And then this is your flap that comes over. You can burnish that to make sure it lays down nice and flat. And then you always want to add some score tape as your to make it a self-adhesive envelope, especially if you're giving it to someone. If you're mailing it yourself, you could use glue to seal it once you're ready to send it. But I just like to take a piece of score tape, 2 pieces actually, and attach it along the edge of your envelope, just like that. So that makes it a self-adhesive envelope ready for you whenever you're ready to mail it. So then make sure you do burnish these tape backings so they're easy to come off for whoever's going to be peeling that off. So there's that. Now we can decorate this up. I'm going to show you the card will go in. Right there. Isn't that cute? Folds up. You would just seal it up. We are going to put some craft here for the address. I'm going to do this pumpkin with a scallop. Do I want? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was going to say, do I want to put this on the back of the envelope when I seal it up? But I'm going to put it right there. Just kind of decorate that area in there after you pull your card out. Isn't that cute? And then we turn it over, and I'm going to grab the craft cardstock that we can use for the return address and the address area. So I decided on my address section, I'll do the return and the address on the same thing. So I'll cut this 4.5 by 4.5. You could make it 5 by 5 if you wanted to. So this is the craft cardstock. So I'm just going to glue this to the front. Okay, just center. I'm going to fold this back so make sure I'm centering pretty well. Helps to have these squares or the check paper. So burnish that down. Then I'm going to take, and also make sure your flap's at the top. Well, it doesn't matter as long as you've got a square on this. That's okay. But now we're going to put decorating. So we're going to put some stickers, and we need to have it front and back. I mean, the top are here at the top. So here's this. Let me see. Which one do I think I want to add? Didn't want it to be too big. This one's kind of cute. It says Happy Halloween combined together. See if I can get that off. There we go. See that one? It says Happy, but then it's also Halloween. That's kind of cute. Put some glue on it. Oops. And then I'm going to put it here at the corner, so as not to interfere with the address. Okay, if I had some little tiny ones, I would put one, you know, where the address goes. Oh, we've got it in little bats. That's kind of cute. There's a little bat. Little tiny. And so I would put the address here in the center. So I put that like that. Cute. And then if you wanted to cut something out and have it ready to go, to seal this up, you could. So there's the card. You got your collar fold, ghostly greetings, got the jack-o'-lanterns in here. I think that's really cute. Got a place for your message. So this slides in, and it's ready to seal. So we definitely would want something here that we could seal this up. Enter at your own risk is cute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just cut and leave the backing on it. Just cut around it. Like this. Now that we don't want to lose it, so I'm going to peel down about halfway, like maybe not quite halfway, and I'm going to cut this backing off there. Press that back on and leave put a little bit of glue on this top part, and then I'm going to attach it right there. So then when I'm ready to seal it up, all I have to do is pull that backing off. Pull this up, come over. Whoop. Peel the backing off and seal it up. So make sure it stays straight. There we go. So that's going to look really cute like that. And if you want to add more stickers, you can. Okay, so that is day 5 bonus. Sorry we didn't have one yesterday, but we had a long project session for sure. And I think each day the actual project sessions probably will be short. And if so, then I can do some quick little cards or different projects for that. Okay, thanks so much for joining me again today for day 5. Remember, tomorrow it'll be at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time here on my YouTube channel for day 6. For day 6, let me look at my tentative schedule here. Day 6, I'm thinking I will do, it may be a little bit longer session. We're going to do the hidden pages with a swing tab closure that goes in that next or final 9-inch section. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Again, 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time here on my YouTube channel for day 6. Check you later. Woo!